It's one of those sort of days where I wasn't going to record anything. Well, actually, let me roll that back. I was going to record something. That was the intention, to get up early, to get on top of stuff and get things done. And then that just turned into I woke up late, bunged up full of cold, sinuses absolutely wrecked, and feeling a bit sorry for myself and a little bit depressive and what have you, and then kind of fell into sort of like an ADHD paralysis. I've got so much on, so much I want to do, and then the longer that goes on, the more you sort of beat yourself up about it, and the more kind of depressed and crap you become. So I wasn't going to do anything today, but I thought, well, let's go through what I've got. And this submission was so humorous and so complimentary that I just had to dive back on. So here I am. I'm Ben Sebastian, curator of the Symphonic podcast, owner of this YouTube channel, stuffed with reviews of all types of metal from all corners of the globe, composer of the Kalasin series, and frequent balding annoyance to your Instagram and YouTube feeds, perhaps, as well. The band concerned is called the Antarctican, and the single that they've put out is called I Is the Lie. I'm very much a fan of this artwork. It's very, very slick. Well done there. But let's go through this submission that cheered me up and pulled me out of the doom and into review mode. So they say that they're sort of like they definitely like the labels of sort of heavy power groove metal, but there's a fair bit of death influence in there as well. The Antarctican, they formed during the pandemic as a group of experienced musicians from the Albany, New York area, and they decided they were missing playing metal. And they say this bored as shit group formed a power metal band and played out when they could, wrote some cool songs, before their original singer was kidnapped by a little alien boy on a dirt bike. Yeah, I mean, that happens. They then found a new singer and played a lot more shows and added some death metal influence for a bit more spice. Altogether, they're a bunch of wacky guys from New York's capital region, and yes, they sort of intend to engage with social media by sort of rants and craziness. They sound quite a fun bunch. They say the song we have for you today is called I Is the Lie, spooky, moody, and pretty dark. We're talking about the illusionary nature of the self in these lyrics, and the song doubles as their doctoral thesis in philosophy. They're very proud of the dynamics of this track, and although it's on the longer side, we think it feels a lot shorter than it looks. I love it. I love it when music does that. But then they also went on to say that they really liked my approach, and kind of stuck out immediately compared to sort of other reviewers around, and not just because of my over-the-top reactions. I mean, they're not over the top by design. I just get into the stuff that I'm into, and yeah, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's probably one of the well, I suppose it's become one of the most helpful traits of a dark and disordered personality. But they say they went on to say that they're into that too. We found that no one else seems to truly have a genuine love for the style of music, and they appreciate what I'm doing in sharing some of the less popular, I'd say less well-known tracks with a wider audience, and they hope that I enjoy their newest single. So there we go. Without further ado then, let's give this a whirl. The Antarctican, I Is the Lie.
disappear.
Oh, nice.
Left observing the watchers fall. Nothing but stories and hidden chord. Words can name, describe the parts, but the whole, the witness remains untold.
I really enjoyed that. That was awesome. Wow. Um, Lots of things spring to mind. I love the vocals. I mean, whatever the alien boy on the dirt bike that you referred to, I hope he's having fun with the previous singer because this style as absolutely complements the musical side of the band, and I think you can do no wrong with this setup. So let the alien boy have his fun. Uh, but But moving along from that, there's a couple of things that there's a thing that I can't talk. There we go. Marillion. There's a band called Marillion. Don't, in my view, don't listen to anything of their stuff past the Fish era. Now, Fish was their singer. His actual full name was unfortunately Derek Dick. Not a great name. So he chose to go by the name Fish. But that aside, the first 5 albums or 4 albums, I think, Fugazi, Misplaced Childhood, Clutching at Straws is one of my favourites. The Script for the Jester's Tear. I think if you started listen to that album, the Script for Jester's Tear, there's some eerie similarities when you guys pull back and tone down and create that space, and there's some of the vocal attributes as well, and also when you pair in the introspective lyricism as well. The lyrics have the same sort of dynamic in the way that they're written, and the way that they're conveyed. This is a band that I are going to like you quite seriously, and I often say this, I'm looking forward to what's coming next. Can't wait to hear more or variations. Oh, excuse me, or variations on that theme. But because of that sound and because of that linkage I've created in my mind, whether correctly or incorrectly, the Antarctican is definitely a story I will want to follow. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Some blistering solos in there as well. It's not overcomplicated. But still sort of very progressive in its nature, and it just all melded together and all made sense. So a band that has the ability to have some sort of driving emotion with it. There's a lot of heavy sort of style music that it gets into this sort of lyricism, but then it doesn't really kind of convey because it gets lost in all of the brutality and the complexity of stuff. But the Antarctican seem to have got the balance absolutely perfect. It's a unique sound, and I like it. It's yeah, such a warm, full production, and it came across very well. I'm going to leave links and stuff. They've got a Bandcamp, Instagram, various different bits and pieces, and yeah. God bless the pandemic, I suppose, in a way, for putting bands like these together. There's been lots of pandemic bands, and a lot of them have been absolutely awesome. And it's in times of strife, it's always a good opportunity to double down on the things that you know and you love. Because when everything's all going good, we're kind of into everything, and into our little comforts. But when times of strife hit, sometimes we kind of are forced to take a look at ourselves and go, well, what is exactly is it that I'm about? And we kind of embrace our musicianship more, and then something comes out of it. And this has been exactly the case with the Antarctican, and yeah, very happy that has happened. And yeah, if you like this, go and follow them up, go and give all their other stuff a listen. And I want to see them back here again. They're certainly going to be back in here again. And thank you for getting me out of my self-imposed sort of misery / cold / apathy. I'm really glad I got up and about for this. And yeah, it has definitely made my definitely made my day brighter. So my mood has completely shifted after hearing this track. And then secondly, of course, thank you so much for the compliments. Look, I'm out here trying to just do what I do. Trying to encourage musicians like yourselves and like some of you watching to kind of do the same. Invest in your talents as a way of surpassing the vicissitudes of life. You know, as my saying sort of goes. And I'm out here doing the same, you know, with my music and then with this podcast as well, trying to keep me healthy and sane. And that's it. It's a good all round video here. We've covered it all, and yeah, excellent soundtrack to it provided by the Antarctican. I is the lie.